Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar dedicated to Projects Online. I am Frédéric Lanao, Account Manager in the Harmonized Standard Compliance team. And together with my colleague Elisa, who is Project Manager in the PMO, we will give you an update on Projects Online and explain you what has been updated recently. This is the agenda for today's webinar. So we will start with an introduction, reminding what is Projects Online, give the context, start with what Projects Online looks like today, and then we will go to the updates, explain what has been updated, and we will end the webinar with a live demo. So Projects Online is a web application providing a user-friendly access environment to consult the work program of the CEN-CENELEC technical bodies and get access to detailed information on standardization projects. You can have access to Projects Online either directly by the link displayed on the page or through the CEN-CENELEC experts area. In the actual Projects Online, harmonized standard information are displayed on two tabs. The EC and EFTA relations tabs gives the link, shows the links between the work item and the legislation. And the consultant tabs gives an overview of the HAS assessment. The data model related to harmonized standard was recently enriched to improve the monitoring of those harmonized standards from their development until their citation in the official journal. This metadata improvement allows a better description of the referencing method and assessment, and as well allows to identify cases where an Annex Z is required. Projects Online was therefore updated to have this new information accessible and consultable to the CEN and CENELEC community of stakeholders. So the EC and EFTA relations tab and the consultant tabs are now merged into a new tab called legislation, which will centralize information on standardization requests, legislations, assessment method, requirement of an Annex Z, and citation status. As well, this new tab will display information related to HAS assessment outcomes. So this is the new tab, how it looks like. But now I will leave the floor to Elisa for a live demo of this new Projects Online.
Thank you, Frédéric. So as explained, Projects Online is accessible through the CEN and CENELEC experts area. So if you go, for example, here on the CENELEC expert area, application and services, you just need to click on the corresponding application. So this is the current version of the tool. So as explained by Frédéric, there is currently two tabs, EC-EFTA relations, that displays any relations between the project and standardization requests, also directives and specific agreements. Then we have a separated tab, consultants, which displays any consultant assessments that was made for that project. Now I will go on our test area to show you the new version and the change that we have made. So as explained, we have merged the two current tabs into a new tab, legislation. Under this new tab, you will still find the relations between the project and standardization requests. Nothing has been changed here, and specific agreements as well. The big change concerns the information regarding legislations and the link between the project and directives. So in this new section legislation, you will find the reference of the legislation, of course, the title, and also the reference of the official journal if the standard is cited. And we have added new information regarding this legislation. You have now the referencing method. So in this case, it is OGU, the assessment method as assessment for that project and legislation, and also information regarding the content of the draft. And in this case, there is an Annex Z that is required. There is also a citation status. So for ongoing projects, it is candidate for citation, but the purpose here is to have that status evolving when the standard is offered for citation until its actual citation in the official journal. And you have also a list of standardization requests that are linked to that specific legislation. Still for that legislation, you have two new frames, assessments and citation monitoring. So for assessment, you will see any consultant assessment that was made against that specific legislation. So in this case, we can see that we have already two assessments, one for first working draft and a second one for inquiry, and both assessment results are compliant. The frame citation monitoring becomes relevant when the standard is offered for citation to the European Commission, and you will see here the progress made until its citation in the OGU. So when it was offered, as the standard be accepted or rejected by the European Commission, and the date it was cited. I will show you another case that could be also interesting for you. So this is the case of a project linked to more than one legislation, and you can see here that we have separated the information that I've just shown per legislation. So in this case, this project is linked to the Transport of Dangerous Goods Directive and the Pressure Equipment Directive. And we have all related information per directive. So for the transport of the dangerous good, for example, we can see that the referencing method is order, the same for the assessment method, and there is no Annex Z required in this case. And this the standard is not candidate for citation under that directive. For the pressure equipment directive, we can see that the referencing method is OGU, assessment method is as assessment, and there is a need for an Annex Z. And this standard is, of course, candidate for citation under that specific legislation. And we have already one assessment made at formal vote, for which the result is lack of compliance. At the end, you will see an additional frame showing the assessment, historical assessment made before the change. So for this specific assessment, we do not have a specific link between the assessment and the legislation. This is why they will be grouped under this new frame assessment history. So in this case, we have an assessment made at inquiry with a result lack of compliance, and you can see that it was done by the consultant on pressure. This is it for the live demo. I give the floor back to my colleague Frédéric for the conclusion.
Thank you, Elisa. So again, if you have any questions related to these novelties of Projects-Online or anything about Projects-Online, don't hesitate to contact us or your CCMC technical project manager, and we will be very happy to support you. Thank you again for your time and for your attention, and we wish you a nice day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.